to do the red bags that y'all have in your classrooms. That actually came through SHAC, where we started that.
And if you remember last year, the placement of the AED, the last AED that we purchased. So
And that choke-in device,
Yeah,
Bill,
so-
something
So
that we did
we
for
don't actually
choking.
come up with the ideas themselves, but we're involved in the process of putting it into place.
yes and no. So some of the ideas do originate from SHAC. And so, but what it is a way of making sure that we have interests that would appeal to the students, the community. And again, the purpose of SHAC is to make sure you have grassroots buy-in to things that would affect the district at a district level. And so, because things in Maud, Texas may be totally different than what they would do in Austin, Texas. And so this is the way we get the parents to communicate in, the students to communicate in, and it gives us a big piece of it. And if you don't mind, I'll just finish
right
it.
ahead.
So the SHAC doesn't have the final authority on a recommendation. They make a recommendation, and then that recommendation is presented to the Board of Trustees, who is the governing body for the district, and makes the final determination.
Gotcha.
Okay? So it's a way of gathering as many voices as possible for things that relate to student health, student wellness, different programs that are used at the school. One of the biggest things I think has been a lot of the health related things like the choking devices, the AEDs, all those things that are there because the superintendent may say, hey, I think it'd be great to do this right here. And y'all may come back and say, but Dr. Siggers, we're never in that building. That makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm saying, so it's a way of getting collective voices to make the best recommendations so our Board of Trustees knows, hey, we can make this with confidence. This is going to have buy-in from our school, our parents, our community, and help us make the best decisions possible.
So perspective is a big part of it, getting.
Absolutely, we do want your perspective. We will ask y'all questions. We're going to bounce ideas off of each other, and we definitely want y'all as students to tell us what really happens. If we talk about something, y'all can be like, yeah, I think that'll work, or no, that's never going to go. That we want the truth. We want honesty. Another thing that the SHAC did last year is, I don't know if y'all have noticed the yellow choking devices that we have all over the campus. SHAC actually voted to put those with every AED last year, and it's law now this year, but we went beforehand and we bought more than what even the law requires, but that's something that SHAC did last year that we voted to do.
Good question.
Okay, so the next thing on our agenda is SHAC is required by the state that we have a SHAC committee. And what the idea of it, what they want is for it to be led by parents, or you can co-chair with someone from the school. And that's what we've done in the past, is each year we elect someone to co-chair. Last year we had 3 co-chairs. I don't know what you technically call 3 co-chairs. Tri-chair. With myself and Ginger and Madison. So I try to take as much pressure off of parents as possible, because I understand being not working at the school that you may be a little intimidated, or I have no idea what to do. So it's something that the co-chair and I work together, like, hey, I think we need to talk about this, or we need to bring this up, kind of for the agenda. It's not necessarily to run the meetings, but it's to kind of bring, what are we going to talk about? Because this is a good sounding board, because most of the time administration is in here. Ms. Harrell and Ms. Seegers are actually at Region 8 today, so they're not in here, but most of the time they are in here, and so it's a good sounding board. So with that being said, is there anybody that is willing to jump in and serve as a co-chair? I'm going to put Madison on the spot. There she is. We had talked about it earlier, if she was able to. So Madison or Ginger, is that anything y'all are interested in?
I'm not hearing them.
Yeah, I can't hear.
able to serve again if you served last year as coach?
Yes. Yes, as long as it's voted on by everybody.
Again, I'd like to participate.
Is that Ginger talking?
This is.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Is that something, that y'all wanted to do together like we did last year? Or, and I'm completely fine with whatever y'all wanna do.
I would be fine with that if Ginger is. I like the way we did it last year. It was easy, collaborative, and I like, bouncing ideas off of each other. So if Ginger's good with it, I'm good with it.
That's fine with me.
Okay, so we need,
We got a recommendation for co-chair with Madison and Ginger, and with Nurse Nisi. Any other recommendations? All right, so we'll make a motion.
I think my name may show as Mitchell on the board, but of course you know which one is yours.
yes, I do.
So we have a motion for Madison and Ginger to serve as co-chairs with Nurse Nisi on the SHAC committee for the 25-26 academic year. All in favor? Raise your hand, please.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? All right, that is.
All right, thank you, ladies. I'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to nurse updates, and we are gonna let Nurse Kara start with the elementary.
So our poor elementary babies have done been hit with everything. We've had it all. We're so bad that when patients go to the doctors, they're like, "Are you from Maud?" They're like, "Okay, we're gonna swab you for everything." That's how bad it is. We've had stomach bug, flu, COVID, strep, everything. But they're doing really good over there. Teachers trying to keep everything clean. I do think we have gotten a lot better. I do think we're fixing to get hit again with everything coming, but hopefully we've got the big bulk of that out of the way. But that's what we've had, everything at the elementary. Upcoming, Nisi and I are going to start working on when we can do our vision and hearing screenings, hopefully at the end of this month, I would think so. And that's really what I've been seeing at the elementary, and the only updates that we have upcoming is our vision and hearing screenings.
Hold on, I'm writing down. Okay, for the secondary side, we have not seen as much sickness as the elementary side, but they generally don't come to me as much. But what I did see a lot of was stomach virus. We had a lot of stomach issues going around, and I've seen a lot coming from athletics. Those junior high babies coming from athletics, it's an adjustment for them. So I do see a lot of that. Like Kara said, we are going to work on the vision and hearing, and we actually also have to do the spinal screenings, and we have to do all those first semester. We try to get those done before Thanksgiving because Kara usually hits up hand washing in December for our elementary students, trying to teach them the proper hand washing. One thing that Kara and I did talk about was that we've already seen flu, and with us seeing flu already, I feel like we're going to have a resurgence about February or March with seeing a second round of flu. So it's really important that we wash hands and those sorts of things. And in saying that, we do have a flu shot clinic that's going to be here on Friday. So any students, parents, if you want to sign your students up, it's on Parent Square to be able to do that. It's for students and staff. If you have insurance, it should cover it, and if you don't, for students, it's $10 a shot, and that's going to be on Friday. And I think, and I'm going to be at the football field for the trunk or treating. We're going to give out some bone candy and have my skeleton up there, so so we'll be there at that 31st ball game. I think that's it. Okay, Ms. Hutchins?
Well, we've already had our Start With Hello week back in September. If you girls don't want to add anything about that. It's off the Sandy Hook Promise, where you speak to people that you normally may not say hello to, even though it's a small school. Sometimes you don't see other grades. But a game that we do that worked very well last year, and it worked again this year, was the rock, paper, scissors with the beads, because everybody wants those beads, so they're going to at least say hello or how you
do like the beads. They like
They
our
do.
papers.
They gave me some suggestions. They want some beads to be worth more than others next year. And so we have to work out what that's gonna look like. But, so,
I think it should happen.
do what?
I think it should happen.
So, yeah, we gotta figure out a point system. They want the teacher beads to be worth more if they beat the teachers. I bet we can make that happen, Sam.
Hey, but,
I bet we can make it happen.
yeah,
Our
Did y'all participate in the bead thing?
I won.
Oh,
Well, not this year, but last year, but,
last year.
yeah, that's important.
It
he's
is
keeping
important
his
to know.
bragging rights.
We do, our big week is coming up in 2.5 weeks now. It's the Red Ribbon Week that we do. It's drugs and bullying. We have a huge rally on Wednesday. Chief Rochelle's been helping me since summer. I guess we've been kind of working on this. We have 3 police agencies coming this year actually to do different things. So that's big to me to have the 3 different. The pharmacist is coming again, and they really enjoyed her last year. She had examples of pills and candy, and you had to decide if this is a pill or candy.
Oh, wow.
Some of it was fantastic. And she asked me she's from DeKalb. She said, "Can I please come back again?" I said, "You absolutely can." So she is, and but that week is going. We've got everything rolling on it. And on that Thursday of that week, Trinity from the Child Advocacy Center will be here to do her presentations to the junior high and the high school. She does it every year, does a fantastic job. It's some very difficult conversations, but she really does a nice job. So she'll be back that week. Yeah, but those are, our big week is coming up very
Yes, it
quickly.
is.
So,
Thank you, Ms. Hudgens. Do y'all have anything to add to?
All I have to say is that the Red Ribbon Week, that is the most activity we get out of the students, and they'll actually participate and they actually want to do it. So I feel like that's really our biggest week.
Even if it's just playing cornhole, but it's still participating in.
Yeah,
It's like a big ring.
mm-hmm. There's really not anybody sitting down at all. It's all tutorials they're doing stuff. So.
Yeah. Walking around.
and they've added 2, we have 2 new tables added this year. Tic-tac-toe with the Swami, and let's play with games, not drugs. And so they'll be just board games, games they may not have at home. Card games, there's a big giant, what is that, Connect 4 that Allie and another student put together. So they've really, added a few things that I think are gonna be fun this year. So they've done a nice job, student council. 3 of these are my student council people, so. Sam, you've done a nice job too, honey.
Well, thank you. I try my very best.
He does. He does. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Boone?
Okay, well, I'm new, so Ms. Hudgens has been a godsend to me. I just have tried, I met with her at the beginning with her and Kayla to see what they did and just kind of piggyback off of her. We participated in Hello Week as well. The kids got to make posters in art class and they got to hold them out and put them on the wall, and so that was really good. The one thing that I've done at the elementary is we do class meetings, so different topics like empathy, responsibility, bullying versus being mean, those kind of things. I go into the classroom, even though it's not for very long, and have discussions with the kids and talk to them. And it just kind of goes along with whatever we're doing for the month. And then we have a different program that we use that has come from St. Michael's called Super Noodle that we're using with it's really small kid focused. So that's from pre-K through 2nd. We do that program every week, and they get to learn a little lesson, move a little bit, calm down. It's fun for them. So I'm just continuing to build off that. For Red Ribbon Week, the kids are going to do a coloring contest in art, and then they'll get a prize. I got some Frisbees from the meeting the other day that says drugs don't fly with me. So whoever wins for each grade level, they'll get a Frisbee for their prize. And so Miss Jason's really been helping with that. Other than that, just the incentives with the kids for attendance and just trying to meet those social emotional needs as they come about on both campuses.
Well, we're glad you're here this year.
Thank you.
We had a question
question over here. She raised her hand.
Oh,
Do y'all do the golden spatula?
We do. Well, I don't know. It just, the lunch is big.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that was really something that Ms. Seegers had brought to us, like, she had the idea, and like, if we do this, maybe it'll help with the behavior at lunch and all that. So, Ms. Crystal, me, and Ms. Churchwell really worked together off of what Ms. Seegers wanted to try to just help with that behavior in the lunchroom. Just the noise, really, it's kind of loud in there, so, but they get to, whoever's the best for the week, they get the golden spatula, they get their picture taken, they get a certificate, it goes on the board, just to try to help them, so, and as an incentive, so.
I was gonna ask what the golden spatula was.
We have two, but they're just on the wall.
I'll tell her.
And the littles love it, the olders, you kind of have to go with like we had some tables that they just can't get it, so we had to do some reteaching today about how we act, and so that's where that came from. Pre-K won it first time. She helps, so yeah, they did a good job.
Any other questions for Ms. Hudgens or Ms. Boone? We got a lot coming up. October is busy. It's. I think we're gonna blink and it's gonna be Christmas. Sam.
Yes.
So when is Red Ribbon Week?
Red
The last week in October.
The last week in
The
October.
last 4 weeks, yes.
Yeah. Not next week, but the week
The
after.
week after.
Y'all aren't here on the Monday. That's our open house, and then we'll red ribbon the rest of the week.
Starts from 28. 27th that Monday, Red Day.
We're also having a trunk or treat at the football game on Friday, so y'all get the word out for kids to come by the football game to do the trunk or treat. So.
Yeah, that's hard with Halloween being on a Friday night. So.
But it's 30 minutes.
It's 30 minutes.
It's 30 minutes, that you're, and we'll also have some drug-free stuff. I found some stuff from past years.
And anti-bullying.
Yes, that we'll have out there as well. Even some color-changing pencils that they found today, and they're very excited.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Okay, well, the next thing that we are going to discuss is the justsayyes.org, and I printed off packets for y'all that is just a little bit of a little description of each of the different programs. And ladies on the screen, I will email y'all this packet so that you are aware, because I think that we're probably going to talk about this at the next meeting. But Dr. Seegers is familiar with this, so I'm going to let him discuss this.
Okay, so spoke with Nurse Nisi, I don't know, several months, maybe during the summer, I don't remember. A lot of times, we look at Red Ribbon Week, or say no to drugs. We have different incentives throughout the year. Get to know your neighbors and all those pieces. But especially in schools, in our secondary especially, we want to make sure that we put programs out too that gives kids just information about life choices. And this program here is the Just Say Yes, is the one that we're highlighting right now is the sexual risk avoidance program. And so there's so many things that inundate our kids, from music to TV to everything else, that we think everybody's having sex. Everybody's having sex all the time. And we really want our kids to know that the majority of teens are not having sex. And the only thing that is proven to help you as a young person move into the next stage of your life is to avoid behaviors that can be risky. And avoiding sexual interaction until marriage is the absolute best thing that you can do to prevent risk that will affect the rest of your life, okay? And so the Just Say Yes organization has been around for years and years and years. They have multiple different things that they present. And so really throughout a kid's tenure in secondary school, we can have a different program and they'll never see the same one twice. But what it is, it's just a way of bringing an outside speaker in to have some conversations with our kids and say, hey, we want you to be able to be successful in life. We want you to see down the road. But the research shows the majority of kids are not engaging in sexual behavior. And so I know it's pretty blunt to put it that way, but at the same time, we want our kids to be able to go from high school to college or the workforce or whatever you want to do and not have the responsibility of raising a child, or what do I do with everything. So it gives you a chance to get older, more responsible. I'll be honest with you, I was 25 years old when I had my first kid, and I was scared to death. You know what I'm saying? I had a job and everything else. I was like, what do you do now? And so, but again, our society is, in my opinion, we do a terrible job of telling kids what kids are doing. You know what I'm saying? We make it as a society, hey, if you're not doing this, something's wrong with you. Where it's the complete opposite. Most kids are not engaging in that type of behavior, and the research is out there to prove it. And so we feel like that's a great opportunity. This is just introduction, kind of get some feedback from you. One of the things Nurse Nisi and I talked about, we haven't had a program like this
Since I've been here.
in a long time. And so usually you like to have these programs somewhere about February, early March, when we say the South starts rising, and kind of help kids, because that's where we start getting into prom and all the things that happen in the spring, getting ready to graduate. It's just a great way of giving extra information to our kids and letting you know the ramifications for choice.
Success?
There's different ones.
They changed the name of it. It's called Yes. It's called Yes. They are the old Aim for Success.
It's been a long time.
And so, but anyway, they have these different programs. So if you flip, you can kind of see, I think Nurse Nancy had different ones in here. There are different programs. So a 6th grade student wouldn't see the same program that a high school student would see. Okay? And so there's different pieces there. They do it very tastefully. That's not, Ms. Boone, have you ever seen anything like those? I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's very tasteful. It's not anything that's embarrassing or something that's going to be crude or taboo. You know what I'm saying? They come the day before and have a parent night with their parents. So every parent that wants to see the program, they do the program right there for the parents. So they see exactly how it rolls out. The parent has all the information that they know about it. With our new legislation pieces, this would be an opt-into decision. So our parents would have to, sign consent saying, we agree for our kid to see this program. If not, they would automatically opt out. That's just the way the law is written now, okay? So used to it was opt out, you would see it unless they opt out. It's the complete opposite of that now, all right? So the next time we come together, it's an opportunity for a representative to actually talk with the group if we feel like it's something that we'd be interested in. Again, it's just putting those information in front of our kids that is really what real information is, and not what's popular on MTV or movies or anything like that. These are the things that are going to help you make healthy decisions and set you up for the next phase of your life when you will be able to have a family and have all those pieces there, because you'll have the resources to take care of. And so, it only promotes abstinence and sex in marriage. It does not have any other piece with that piece there. That's the only one that we know that's 100% safe, and that's the way they take it. You can have contraceptives and everything else; those are not 100%. The only thing that's 100% is sexual activity inside the marriage. Okay.
So our next meeting, that tentatively for November the 12th, a lady from justsayyes.org will join us by a Google Meet or a Zoom or something, a conference where we can ask her questions. Like, what is this about? What kind of things do you say to 6th graders versus freshmen? How does the program go? Because my understanding, because I've never been through it, is I think it's a 3 to 5 year cycle.
Is this the thing where the children, I want to say it was 6th and 7th graders, where they sent home a form for consent to, like, where the body's changing or whatever?
It's similar to those old. Yes, it's similar to that. And so, so it sounds like you're familiar with a version. You know what I'm saying? And so, they do different programs there, and so I think the easiest to do is just let one of the consultants just come on and visit with us and say, hey, this is what we offer, and these are the kind of the cycles, because again, they are difficult conversations. You know what I'm saying? And we want to make sure that we put information out that is factual and truthful and help children make wise decisions down the road. And so, but there are multiple different versions of them. So like the 5th grade that you're talking about, I remember that as a kid. Your body is changing. Those things there. They have multiple pieces of those. It's been about 3 years since I've seen a program, so I can't remember exactly what's in it. You know what I'm saying? But they do have multiple different topics that they go through. Sometimes it's dating relationships, and what's healthy dating relationships, bullying is another topic that they address. Internet safety, that type, all those different pieces that are really big for our kids. Things that, we had the sex thing when I was in school, but it wasn't the internet bullying, or it wasn't all those pieces there. There's a lot more factors that scream for our kids' attention now that we never had to deal with. Or at least I didn't. I'm probably one of the older ones in the room, and so. But anyway, it's a recommendation that I think would present a different topic to our kids, but also put it in a way that they haven't heard before.
So tentatively, she's open to a couple of dates, but November 12th was a date that she was open to for us to look over, read this, and be able to ask them questions directly. But I do have a question for y'all. Do you feel like this would be something that, even though you might not tell your friends, is it something that you feel like would be beneficial and like you feel like you might need to hear it?
I think so, because like some kids don't have the parents to tell them about safety and tell them about like like what you need to do when you become an adult and like about all of that. And I feel like if they have someone to tell them that, then they might actually pay attention. Like I know the lady came about internet safety, and like we've heard it since 6th grade, we're not going to pay attention, but like most people, they honestly do. Like they're like, oh, like I didn't know that that's what grooming is, or like I didn't know that like that you could get hacked or something. So I mean, I feel like that'd be a good thing to have.
A big important part of that is reaching the kid's heart. I think that's a big deal. It's difficult to do that, but this is one good way I think that we can at least try it.
Well, the good thing about it, they speak to kids all over the state and nation. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Dr. Seegers has to try to figure out how to say something in a different format than he normally does. These are guys that are, they're paid to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so they're commonly speaking to groups anywhere as small as 100 kids to sometimes over 1,000 kids. So that they've got quite a bit of tools to pull from in the tool bag.
I think it's a really good idea. The only problem with stuff like this is that most of the kids are just going to tune it out and not really listen. But I do really think that we should do it. I think it's a good idea.
Well, sometimes it's just if you get one nugget, and that one nugget helps you make a good decision down the road, it was worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially, even if I'm not consciously trying to figure out stuff, if it's subconscious, or if there's going to be something subconsciously that helps me,
Correct.
in my experience.
And did you say it's something that they come back? Like it's not
you
just
can
one time?
They have like multiple pieces. It's either a 5 or 6 year cycle, and so your freshman wouldn't see it twice. You know what I'm saying it would be something they'd get a new program the next year, and it does cost money. What was it, about $1,500 or something like that for them to come out?
I don't have them.
And so that seems like that's about the last time I remember. It could have gone up since then. So it is costly. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's something that it's really an investment. It's an investment in our kids, and helping them to see what's out there. And again, as families, our families can say, "Hey, I don't want my kid going to that," and it's absolutely fine. They get to go to another room and do whatever that principal's got designed for that person, for the kids to do, while the kids that have opted into it have a chance to see it.
But one thing for y'all, a year from now, y'all aren't gonna be sitting here. You're gonna be making the choices and the decisions about this kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that these would be discussions that you would have with your parents if you're not going to, attend these. But if you are, to get your friends too, like, hey, we really need to think about this. Like, this is like, we've got being a big girl and a big boy coming up, as I used to tell my kids. I mean, you're a big kid now. So I do think that it's important topics, and I'm glad that the lady agreed to come so that we could ask her questions to know. So
I've got one more. Do you know if, and this may be a question for them, but do they do it by grade level, or they do like 6, 7, 8 together?
They typically do like 6, 7, 8, or something like that, you know what I'm saying, and then, or 7, 8, 9s, and then high school. So they have different groupings.
Okay, different, okay.
Yeah, it's not one size fits all. Because they will talk
Sure.
differently when they're dealing with the small ones.
It looks like that.
And so, and again, there's nothing crude or vulgar. It's just they speak in a different, different way.
yeah, what I'm seeing on some of these, it says 7th and 8th, and then 9th through 12th. 6th has their own for some. And depending on what it is, it may be something that we kind of look at and talk about. What are they going to talk about? Do we think our freshmen need to go with the high school or
Right.
down to
Yes.
the
Okay.
middle school
Or do our seniors need to be separated
from the rest of them? Yeah.
Because, they're adults.
So like even with the 6th grade, I see that it showed like teen pregnancy, STDs. Are they still like? Is that something they would talk to them about? I mean, sadly nowadays, you see it all social media, the news. You see it, and I actually had a friend that was 13, and so it like, how do I say that?
Is it age appropriate?
Yeah, like
But they
I think
will
they
talk
need
about
to understand.
You
they
can
need to
catch
know,
something that you
but-
can get rid of.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when because they've been here, I know twice I've seen it, but they did a chart of like when you have sex with someone, well, if that person has been with, depending on how many people that person's been with, and so it shows you this chart of this one person that you're with.
You think it's one, and
You
all of a
may
sudden
have
it's
been with
100.
20-something, and so then the STDs, and that I think was one of the biggest eye openers for kids, is because they had not really thought about the fact that people have been with other people, and it can affect you, and it was pretty you don't want to just think of it and stuff.
But I do think, because there's a big difference between our 7th and 8th graders and our 12th. So I do think that when she comes, that is stuff that we need to ask, like, how do you divide this up? Like, because 7th graders don't need
the
to
school
hear.
gets to help input that as well. So it's not just they're not just giving us, hey, we're going to do it this way. They ask us how we feel like would be a good break. You know what I'm saying? Because we may say, our freshmen need to go with our middle school. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that happen on multiple occasions. Because
As a mom of a freshman and a mom of a 6th grader, I think it's a fantastic idea. It's surprising to me that a lot of families don't discuss any of this stuff at home. Me being a nurse, I've been very open with my boys about things on their own levels. And even at their only 3 age level difference, Landon and Brett are on completely different levels of those kind of topics. But this may be the only information that these kids get that's honest, true information. So I think it's a fantastic idea.
Thank you.
so November 12th.
November 12th. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the next thing is the summer nutrition program. I do.
Okay. I appreciate y'all's help on that. Again, the superintendent really doesn't like talking about those things either, you know what I'm saying? But it's things that, as Ginger eloquently put it, there's families that don't talk about it, and we want to at least have the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you make your decisions after that, we want you to have the truth. So, all right, the next one, and this one is one that takes just Texas Department of Agriculture has a summer feeding program. And we are a recipient of Texas Department of Agriculture funds for our cafeteria. And so part of the reason we have free lunches and breakfasts this year is because we applied for basic eligibility for our free and reduced program, and we got it, okay? And so in that though, Texas TDA also tries to do summer feeding programs as well. And summer feeding programs is where you know, if you qualify, you can come up and get free breakfast or free lunch during the summertime. The problem has been in small schools, it's not just a problem in Maud, is the cost of running a summer feeding program related to the number of people that actually show up to partake in it, okay? And so schools, we're reimbursed for the number of meals that go out. So if it costs me $5,000 to run a series of meals, and I get reimbursed for the number of people that come through, and I have 10 people come through, I only get enough reimbursement for the 10 people that came through. The rest of it all goes back on the district to pay for it, okay? And so if I put it this way, if it costs me, let's say $5,000 to run the program, I think it's a good number to operate with. It's probably actually more than that. And we get $3 a kid per meal, and I have 10 kids go through the line, I got $30. Okay, so you see I've got to have a lot of heads go through the line to actually break even. And if not, then the school district has to pay for it. Okay, and so with us being out during the summer, we have very few times where kids actually come to school. It's usually it's a business decision that it's more financially responsible to forego summer feeding program, because most of our kids don't get up, they don't come up here. Even when we had it in the past, our numbers were so low that we lost a lot of money during the summer feeding program, because you have to pay for the staff to come up, you have to do all the meals, everything. And so it's my recommendation to the SHAC committee that we not participate in the summer feeding program for 25-26 school year.
I make a motion that we not participate.
Second.
Did y'all have any questions related to that? I know sometimes it's a little bit confusing. And so, Sam?
The kids that actually do come, is it a very important service to them?
Typically, I don't know how, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I do know that we have feeding programs also in Boston. Our church has a food pantry as well, you know what I'm saying? And so, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the best I can give you, but at the same time, I'm saying, as a superintendent, I'd rather guarantee those funds to go somewhere else that I know is affecting my kids than over here where it may affect one or two. You see what I'm saying? And so it's strictly just a business decision that says, I'd rather not invest in this because I can affect all my kids if I invest in this with that same money.
Well, and the deal is buses don't run in the summer to bring them here. So they would have to have somebody physically bring them to get it. So that's kind of where.
Last year, didn't we discuss sending out like a list of all the places around here that do food services during the summer? Because we talked about this last year, not participating in it this summer. And, I think we said we were going to compile a list or something to give to them. So they at least can have, an idea of where they can get food.
Yeah, I know we've got the food pantry at our church at First Baptist Maud, and during the school year, we send the backpacks home during the school year. So we can definitely, at the end of the year, like put on our social media and stuff and put a list out of different places to go.
Okay, that'd be great.
I was just making sure that if it's very important to these kids, then they have an option, a route to do so. Because I understand the business decision, but yeah.
We want to make sure we take care of our kids. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it's just the number that actually get out. If I have to get out of bed at 7:30 to be at school to get a breakfast, a lot of them going to roll back over and pull the cover over their heads in the summertime. Yes, ma'am.
Kind of like what you were saying. Some of us, even though it's sent out, my son was telling me about it, and I was like, well, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. We don't need that. There's other people that do. Is there a way to help them anonymously?
For the regular school?
I guess during the summer, since if we're not going to do it, is there a way to help them more?
I would say yes. Typically, our teachers are really good about talking to our front line, like our secretaries. I promise you can ask Miss Brandy, Miss Buffy, anything on any kid, and they can tell us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so if we know if there's a need there, they go above and beyond to, hey, slide something inconspicuously in there and say, hey, Mom, you need to look at this paper in the backpack. So,
I was kind of thinking, like, if we had, like, me personally, like, if you can help a few, then help a few.
Mhm.
So, like, there was a way to get them things if they were needing it.
yes, ma'am.
Food wise.
Yeah, I think they do a really good job of that piece. They just do it with no fanfare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they don't bring a lot of attention to it, but
Gotcha.
they do take care of a lot of our families. I have a motion.
Motion and a second.
In a second. All right. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, it passes. Thank you. Yeah, that's a tough one right there, you know. And so what happens now, that recommendation that goes to the board, the board's actually the one that finalizes that, okay? And so I appreciate your understanding on that, but at the same time, the ultimate thing is I'd rather guarantee money for our kids that are here September through May than have to take something away from them during that time because we just don't have the money for it, okay?
And we may be able to come up with some sort of like survey that we send out or something towards the end of the year, so that you know that just goes to like one person that the parents may be able to fill out, so we can send them to the resources. You know, make sure that they specifically know. Okay, the next thing is just open discussion. Just, is there anything that you want to see, want to talk about? Crickets.
You threw a lot of new at them today.
I did. This was a big one to be the first one. I know. Baptized with fire here. Okay, so the next. Oh, I'm sorry, Sam. I missed you.
This is kind of a question about this segment in general. Just like what specifically will be talking about in open discussion?
If there's an idea that you're like, hey, why don't we try this? Or have we thought about this? Or is there a need somewhere that you see that we haven't thought of? Such
as like the Red Ribbon Week or the.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Like if it's for Red Ribbon Week or.
It could be, you know, maybe you know someone that's being picked on at school or something like that. And you're like, hey, nurse, Nisi, maybe we need a program or some type of information about just bullying or different, you know, things that you see at school. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's, hey, Dr. Seegers, the dog is getting under the fence and chasing us again. That happens.
That's true.
And so, just anything that helps us, you know, improve the health, wellness, and safety of our kids while they're in school.
So I had a question for the nurses. Is there a need for like feminine products that kids may need in your office? Like, do we need to stock that? Is that something maybe, or even like Miss Kara needs ice packs, y'all. Okay, our little babies, they
Those go about 20 a day.
Listen, we need. It is a need. We have ice packs all the time going out, but just stuff like that. Like, I don't know if there's something we could do.
Definitely for the high school side, the feminine hygiene products. I get some donations from different things, but one thing that I do need that I don't have is a change of clothes. Sometimes for the girls, that we can't get a hold of somebody to bring them a change of clothes. And at the elementary level, I know that there's, you know, they routinely keep clothes and people donate, but they don't think about it much on my end. And especially the kids don't have phones now to be able to text somebody like, hey, I need this, like this is bad. To be able to have an option when I can't get a hold of them, because I've gone to the store and bought things. Like I've left and gone and bought and come back because we couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Like undergarments and maybe pants for the most part, or like
Yeah.
some type of
Undergarments and shorts
sweats
and,
or something.
yeah.
I know that with like the feminine products, NHS did a thing last year and this year that like we're bringing like shampoo, deodorant, toothbrushes, feminine products, like hairbrushes, clips, anything like you really need. It's like for girls and boys, and like that's what our project was last year. And like it's gone by fast. Like a lot of you'd be surprised how many people actually don't have that stuff at home.
Well, when I was at the high school, I mean, there were kids all the time coming in, you know, needing deodorant. I was like, just stick it in your bag or things like that. And even, I mean, the feminine products were all the time. They'd come in, which my office was near the bathroom, so they would just always come in. So I didn't know if we had a stockpile or if we needed something like that would be a need.
The biggest thing for me need-wise would be undergarments and change of, you know, pants or something is the biggest thing. Because the feminine stuff we get donated. I just got a call last week about somebody wanting to donate some stuff, and I'll always take stuff, like bring it to me. I'll figure out where to store it, you know, to be able to use it.
So you said National Honor Society is doing that again? Okay.
So y'all did it last year, but you're going to do it again? Good. And Miss Hudgens keeps all that?
Miss Baskin.
Miss Baskin does?
Yeah, that'd be something good for Stico to get involved in.
She's got a multiple drawer.
Full of,
Yeah.
It's a big enough
And
problem.
everybody knows.
It's a big enough problem.
She's a very like well-known teacher, and like she's really nice. Like she's very open. Like if you ever need to come talk to her or anything, so that's why we felt that like to put it in her classroom, like not in the bathrooms or just like in her classroom.
So what about middle school? Does middle school have anything like that? Like maybe we could talk to their Stuco
Middle
or
school
something?
has a Stuco, and they could do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we could talk to them and see. I think that's Julie, isn't it?
We haven't done it yet, but I brought up an idea to Ms. Hudgens about a week ago for a student council. Kind of similar to that, we would have like different hygiene products, but it wasn't just to that. It was also about like clothing and stuff like that. And we were trying to decide like how to get it started or like a room for it at the school. But for like any kids, like middle school or high school or even elementary, like a specific room with clothes, hygiene products, different stuff like that.
That they could kind of go in by themselves and not have to have
That's
somebody hand it
anonymous,
to them.
yes.
right, because that'd be kind of embarrassing. I know that
Yeah.
like I get embarrassed, so
Because I know a lot of kids like around here like don't have hygiene products, or they wear the same clothes every single day, or with winter coming up they don't have jackets. I'll see kids like with no jacket on in winter. So
I mean, they don't have to be like nice clothing. Like they can, it's just clothes that you can have. So.
Kind of like what they said. Now, as a mom, our kids could have a closet full of clothes. Okay, but sometimes then you have the ones that want to wear the shorts and just the hoodies, or oh no, I'm good, you know. So I mean, I understand like what they're doing, but is there like a way to find out, or are we just like try and just help everyone if it's?
I'd say
I don't know.
probably Ms. Boone could speak well to this, but a lot of times the need finds its way to the staff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
gotcha.
so they do a great job of monitoring our kids and seeing them. You know, and if I wear the same shirt 4 days in a row, one of our teachers is going to look at me and say, "Hey, is everything okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, is there something we need to help you with?"
I'm sure they
You know.
think that about Tommy, but he has, I promise you, he has 8 different white t-shirts.
My kids
And so-
Just what he's gonna wear.
And so, you know, they really are like a third parent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
I think that's a great, I still think that's a great idea, and you talk about like, well, how will we know? If it's there, then you'll know. Kind of like the whole, I had just a little bitty closet that I had started when I was at the high school, and like, not everybody knew. And there, you know, sometimes somebody would come in and be like, hey, Ms. Boone, so-and-so told me that you have deodorant, or you have you got a hairbrush, you know, like, and so you would know by, is it being used? And if it's not, it might not be a need, and that's okay. What did you lose? Like some donated clothes, right?
Right.
So it could just be something that it goes off of the need of whether or not. Now I know Kara, she's got a whole stock and she uses it. She she's in there getting close, you
But
know.
it's the same thing with kind of how hers is. Our babies, they're covered. But our 4th, 5th graders, we don't really have a whole bunch for them. So that's something we would need. Also, the bigger ones, the older ones, we don't have clothing for. But our babies are taken care of.
See, because that's just as a parent, like if one of mine were to come home, I'm like, that would be somebody who really needs it. Like, don't, and then try and just have that discussion with it. So, I guess I was trying to figure out how.
And I also have people, I had some snacks and they would come and they didn't need them. But I always think if we fault on the way of giving too much, you just never know. You know what I mean? Like, they might not need it, but for some reason they feel like they need it. And so if we fault on the side of they don't need it, but they have it anyways, so what? What are we losing?
Right.
So I'm not to be rude, but I'm just saying like,
Oh, no, that's.
I had kids that obviously I knew their parents, they had money, they didn't need anything, but I don't know, they would just come and get a deodorant, or they would come get a snack all the time, and that's just what they needed, and so.
Because I try and tell Mom, like, what if you took something that was the last of, but then there's someone that really does need it, and then you didn't, so then that kid still had to go without. So.
Well, and that might be a way that you could talk to him is like, well, let's donate this back since we do have plenty. Let's talk to so-and-so, whoever has the closet or whatever, and let's donate this back, to make sure, that they've got this. But I do know what you're talking about. My nephew, one time, he wore these shoes that were awful and his toes were coming out of them, but he refused to wear anything else, and the teachers actually took up money to buy him a pair of shoes because they thought that he did not have the money to buy shoes, and that was not the case. So I do understand where you're coming from when you've got kids. It's like, you don't need that. They have clothes, they have stuff, they're just refusing to wear it. But no.
I would say there's a big difference between like knowing that those kids actually have it and knowing that the kids don't have it. Like, if they come to school one day and they're like in the same clothes that they wore last week and like they have a smell or something, like you can tell. And like most people, like our class, like we're really close. Like we talk about everything, and like I'm not meaning like inappropriate or anything, but like I would say like I can have a normal conversation with Bush, or I could have a normal conversation with Sam, and it's not like it's weird. And so like we've had a couple of kids in our class, and like they'll tell us about their home life, and like they feel comfortable telling us and not the teachers, and like one of us will go to the teachers and they'll get what they need. And
well, that's one thing that I wanted to ask y'all is how y'all feel like it would be perceived like amongst the rest of the high school population. I know that y'all's class, older, being seniors, you realize like things happen, but how do you think the younger, like 8th, 9th graders, how are they going to, if they know that a kid has gone to the closet or whatever we call it, how are they going to be treated?
They might like bully them, and I know that like I've heard it. Like me and Anna Jo and Kennedy are in like a class like as aides to help Miss Brown, and like there's like some kids that aren't, they're different, and the kids will let them know that, and like we'll be like that's not nice, like we'll stand up for them. But I feel like as long as it's kind of on the down low, that they won't say anything.
Because our class is like, the seniors class is like really tight, and we're all, but I know that other classes aren't like that, and they have more cliques.
Yeah.
And like there's more popular kids and weird kids, and it's not weird, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I feel
Different
like
from them. Yeah.
different is what I mean. But
And everybody's so quick to judge.
yes.
But I feel like, I mean, I don't really care if, like, I feel like we should do it no matter the bullying or whatever is going to go on, because if they need it, they need it.
Yeah. But also, I feel like those kids who are bullied or whatever, they would not like they might be uncomfortable to go because they're scared that they're gonna get bullied, and so they might need it but not go and get it because they're afraid of what's gonna happen or what people are gonna say to them. And so I don't know how we could like help that.
That's what I was going to say. What ideas would y'all have for us to be able to get them what they need without it being
broadcast everywhere?
Yeah.
I'd say, I'll be honest, I think our counselors and principals, secretaries are really good at providing some great camouflage when it's needed.
I was gonna say, there's probably things that y'all don't even know
Yeah, there's a lot that happens, y'all
You
have
know what I
no
mean?
clue.
And not in a bad way. I'm just saying that, like, yes, we do see that, and that's where we need to stand up. And if we hear it say something as a teacher, as a whatever, as a bystander, but also there are things that happen. Even like, I mean, if a girl needs some undergarments, you know, if you can go in there, slip it in there, and hey, no harm, no foul, you know. And so, if somebody says something, oh, I got dress coded. I mean, you know, whatever it might be, like. So I think we try to be under.
I would say also with the boys, especially in ninth grade, I know how close they are together. They really look up to the coaches, so why not utilize some of the coaching staff to speak to the boys if they know that they have a problem going on, and let the coaching staff handle it behind closed doors. I don't think they so much as have a bullying issue ninth grade wise, as those boys really look out for each other, and those boys are really close. They know what's going on in each other's homes. They know the situations that are going on with family members, and I feel like Coach Turner, Coach Bush, the ones that they really look up to, we should utilize them and help get them what they need.
Even for the girls, like, I know a lot of us look up to Coach Carr. Like, he's very open. Like, he has that personality that, like, I can go up to him and have a conversation. And, like, you can tell that he, like, generally cares about us and, like, everybody. So, I feel like that would be a really good idea.
I thought it was behind Sam. I was like, what the heck?
I think the weed eater's going out there. Okay, well, guys, that's great discussion, things to get us going and talking about. Are y'all okay with the next meeting being November the 12th? That is a Wednesday, I think. Don't let me lie to you. Hold on.
It is.
That is a Wednesday.
It'd be during school, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it'd be just like this. Yeah.
Sometimes
You trying to miss
everybody's
class?
gotta be- Sam's like, yes.
That's fine with me.
Y'all good? Okay, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? See you later. All right.